Hello, and welcome to our story time. Tonight, I have a very special bedtime story just for Sam and Matthew, a tale that bridges to beautiful lands, the drum of kindness and the golden feather. Once upon a quiet evening, nestled between the green, rolling hills of Ghana and the misty, ancient forests of Britain, lived two wonderful friends. Their names were Kojo and Tom. Kojo was a kind Ghanaian boy who loved, more than anything, to play his talking drum. Tom was a cheerful British boy who loved to play his magical golden flute. When they played together, their music was pure magic, filling the world with so much joy. Every evening, as the sun began to set, Kojo's drum would beat out rhythms of laughter and love, stories of community and warmth. At the same time, Tom's flute would weave melodies of bravery and hope, tales of knights and adventures. When their music combined, it was a sound like no other. The birds would stop to listen, dancing on the branches. The tall trees would sway gently, as if in a slow, peaceful dance. And high above, even the moon seemed to smile down, bathing them in its gentle light, happy to witness such a beautiful friendship. One particularly peaceful night, as the boys played their harmonious tunes beneath the glowing full moon, a visitor appeared. From the shadows of a large oak tree, a wise old owl flew down, its wings silent as the night itself. Clutched carefully in its talons was a single, shining golden feather. It shimmered and pulsed with a light all its own. The owl landed on a branch nearby and spoke in a voice that was both ancient and kind. "This feather," it hooted softly, "is a gift. It holds a special magic. It will make one of you the most famous musician in all the land." Kojo and Tom looked at the magnificent feather, then at each other. Their eyes widened with wonder. Of course, both of them dreamed of being a famous musician. Who wouldn't? But as they looked at their best friend, a different feeling washed over them. They didn't want to win if it meant their friend would lose. They didn't want fame if it meant hurting the person they made music with. The owl, seeing the conflict in their hearts, gently placed the golden feather on a large flat stone between them and with a sill. And flap of its wings flew away into the starry night, leaving the boys alone with their thoughts. That night, something unfamiliar crept into their hearts. As Tom tried to sleep, a sneaky whisper of jealousy coiled in his ear. "Imagine being the most famous musician. Just hide Kojo's drum. He won't be able to play, and the feather will surely be yours." At the same time, a different whisper, one of greed, slithered into Kojo's dreams. "Think of the applause, the adoration. Just take Tom's flute. With it gone, you'll be the greatest musician, and the feather will belong to you." But when the morning sun rose, casting its warm, golden rays over the hills, the boys couldn't bring themselves to play. The whispers of the night had left a heavy feeling in their chests. They looked at each other, and instead of the usual joy, they saw sadness reflected in each other's eyes. Their hearts felt heavy, like stones, because they knew that jealousy and greed had tried to sneak in and steal their precious friendship. Tom, unable to bear the silence any longer, walked to the hollow log where he had hidden Kojo's drum. He brought it back and placed it gently in his friend's hands. He looked at Kojo and said softly, "Your music. It makes me happy. I'm sorry." At that same moment, Kojo reached into his bag and pulled out Tom's shiny flute. He returned it to his friend and said, "Your song, it gives me courage. I'm sorry, too," in that very instant. As their apologies hung in the air, the golden feather on the stone began to glow. It pulsed with a brilliant, warm light, brighter than ever before. it slowly rose into the air, shining with the intensity of the sun itself. And then, with a soft, magical sound, it split perfectly in two. One shimmering half drifted gently down to Kojo, and the other half floated down to Tom. The wise old owl's voice echoed on the morning breeze, seeming to come from the rustling leaves and the whispering wind. Because you chose love over jealousy, and because you chose courage over greed, your friendship itself will be the magic that is known across all the lands. From that day forward, Kojo's drum and Tom's flute played together in the most perfect harmony. Their music wasn't just beautiful, it was powerful. It healed hearts that were sad, it brought joy to entire villages, and it served as a beautiful reminder to everyone who heard it that kindness is always stronger than envy, and that love is far more precious than gold. So remember, my dear Sam and Matthew, as you drift off to sleep, be loving, even when it feels hard. Be brave, even when you feel afraid. And never, ever allow jealousy or greed to silence the beautiful melody of your own heart. Good night, my little heroes. Sleep with peace and kindness in your hearts. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed our story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more bedtime adventures. Sweet dreams.